Be
Unbelievable.
nice.
Giving motherfuckers roofies. Unbelievable, man. Howie Roseman should be locked up.
Welcome in, everybody, to Wednesday's edition of Calling the Shots, coming at you live right at 4:30 on the East Coast. So that perfect time to kill that last half hour if you're still stuck in the cubicle on the East Coast, and that perfect time on the West Coast to get through the rest of the afternoon crunch, because you already know we got the top analysts popping in with us, with Sosa and I today, dropping all of their best bets, their looks, any random thoughts they got, because on Daily Bread Media, we love to hear from our commenters, our subs. We got the best ones out there, so drop your best bets. Let us know where we're right or wrong. And we're getting some good engagement from our views, so we appreciate everyone out there on Twitter. Jump over to YouTube if you want to be featured in today's show. Sosa, how we feeling?
Freaking amazing, man. NBA last night was fire. Really, just amazing.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean, New Orleans won. They beat Luca. Luca got listen. Everyone's talking about him taking a bad shot at the end. I'm like, that wasn't a bad shot at all. It was a perfect shot for him. Jump shot going left. He was going to make a 40-foot pass. Like, come on, grow up, Peter Pan. You go for the win on the road. You don't go for a layup. You don't tie the game on the road.
One of our guys from last season showed out big time, and I'm afraid he's about to get a little too big time in Jose Alvarado, because great start to the game last night, man. He was controlling the pace, getting to the rim with ease, and then we went on a long spiel about Wood yesterday, and he at least didn't let us down.
Definitely did not, man.
No whiskey, so he didn't let us down.
Made sure he showed up. Alvarado, obviously, we've been fans of his since he was in college, and he just, again, love to see him succeed, love to see him winning and operating at a high level. Trey Murphy, wow, he perfect.
The Twitter mush did not come through on him last night.
Perfect from the floor. I mean, you know what? I wouldn't necessarily say that he was that bad. When I see McCollum closed the game pretty well. He played good in the fourth quarter. I think that's a bit unfair. You know what I mean? I think when you have so many players out, teams are able to key in on him a little bit better defensively. And, maybe that's why he didn't perform at such an amazing level to start the game. But when he did close the game, he closed the game. In the fourth quarter, C.J. McCollum played great. That's undeniable. So, maybe his numbers didn't reflect it, right? But yeah, we have like 12, and with like 11 to 12 assists. Luca barely missed a triple-double. Our boy Tim was on here yesterday, gave out the Pelicans money line. Gave out, what was the other one? Thunder money line. He said, fuck the points, keep them.
And then the Suns to wrap it up.
Yeah, just, straight up just took care of business across the board. Let me see. Oh, you see, what's up with your boy Clay, man? He acting like a fake tough guy or what?
I don't know. He's bored.
Is that what it is? I don't like
bored.
The fake tough guy.
I think he's getting to the point where he's washed. Right. He's bored.
Okay.
Got to stay in the news somehow.
Okay. Just making sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not with the fake tough guy act.
Yeah, like, he's still taking a boat with his dog to work every day. You know Life could be worse.
You're a nice guy, Clay. Don't be like that. Yeah, Sadiq Bey. Who bet on Sadiq Bey yesterday? I don't know. I would never recommend you bet on a Villanova guy.
Don't make me call him Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, he doesn't count.
But let's get to one of our first analysts tapping in on today's show. Make sure to like, retweet, follow, and sub, and then tap in and follow and sub to all of their content they're producing as well, because that's all we do is bring in other people, help spread the news to get you tapped in with the top guys in the game. So you alluded to it, Tim, coming off a 3-0 day. Guess that's no pressure with 10 games on deck today. How we feeling?
Oh, last night was fantastic. Yeah, I jumped on the Thunder points and the money line. I jumped on the Pelicans points and the money line. Got on the Suns. Nice 5-0 day for me. Yeah, no pressure. Just gotta get back to that.
Yeah.
It was a really good day. I tend to be really good at the smaller slates, but we got a big slate today. I've got some plays that I really like, and we'll go ahead and run them because I gave out big dogs yesterday, so I decided to bring out my Hornets jersey because we're going Hornets today. I like the Hornets plus the points, and we're going to go outright as well. Around 260. I got it at 261, and I got it at an 8. It's down to a 7 and around 245. Line's moving in the right direction. I don't think the Knicks should be this big of favorites this early in the season. I'm not super high on the Knicks. They have a couple of nice pieces, but this Hornets team has been very scrappy. They took care of San Antonio the opening night by 27. San Antonio has won every game since. They played against New Orleans. They only lost by 12, but New Orleans has been playing really well all year now. And then they went into Atlanta as 10-point dogs and won outright by 17. I like the Charlotte team. I think they're a scrappy bunch. They're going to be a team that they're going to cover some spreads for you. They might sneak their way into a playing game by the time Ball comes back. We'll see. But this is going to be a team that's going to be a little bit sneaky for you. I'm jumping on the Hornets plus the points in the money line. And I got two totals to run with. The first one is with my team. I'm going over in the Nuggets game. This Nuggets team has really, really struggled defensively. And I think they're going to be able to come out tonight. And I don't know if they're going to necessarily be able to shut down as much. But I think this one goes over the 227 that I got it at. I believe it's up to a 229 now. I could see LeBron having a big game tonight just because the Lakers have nobody else to score. He'll have a big night. AD will have a big night. You can see LeBron go off for a 35-point triple-double and they still lose by 15. I still think the Nuggets are the better team. I think they win at home after getting blown out by Portland. I think this is the perfect bounce-back spot for them. That and a full-time job to fade the Lakers. So at this point, they're not going to cover a lot of times this year. So we jumped on fading them last year. We're going to fade them again this year. But my main play for that one's the over. And we're going to take an under between Brooklyn and Milwaukee. Milwaukee's going to be a very good defensive team this year. That's where they're going to hold their hat. They're not going to be as fast as everybody, so they're going to have to play good defense. Giannis, one of the best defenders in the league. And you get Brooklyn, who they're gonna try to play defensively with them. They didn't play defensively last game. They saw that with Memphis. They allowed 134 points. They gotta reel it back in. It's gonna be a nice defensive matchup. First one to about 110 points is gonna win that game. So final play under in the Brooklyn game. I got it at 233.5.
Interesting. That's definitely definitely a contrarian thought. I think everybody believes that. I mean, obviously, the last couple of years, Milwaukee's been terrible in the regular season defending the three. They look like they're trying to change that up a little bit. They're looking like they are trying to hang their hat on the defensive end, like you said. That's one of the early takeaways from that team. Obviously,
it's
also
the rat line of the night for me. 3.5 on the Bucks spread. I know that wasn't one of his plays, but that's the rat line of the night.
You don't think that's good? You like Brooklyn?
No, I would lay it with the Bucks.
Oh, you would lay it with Milwaukee. Okay, that makes sense.
Like, what has Brooklyn showed on offensive wise that they're going to mesh against there on the road?
Nothing.
That's what I'm just saying. I was expecting that to open at like 6.5.
Yeah, no, I could see Milwaukee winning and covering. So I think I'm one of the people that thinks Milwaukee's one of the best teams in the East. I think that they're going to end up being the top team in the East by the end of the year. That's my pick to win the East in terms of number one at the end of the regular season.
I'm actually right there with you, to be totally honest. I think they're equipped. I mean, obviously they took Boston to the brink without their second best player. So
without Middleton, if they had Middleton, Boston wouldn't have made the finals, and I think that would have been a very competitive finals between Milwaukee and Golden State. But
I agree. It would have been. I think it would have been a 7-game series.
100%.
Boston just 100%. Wasn't ready. But definitely, if you want to just run back all three of your is it 4? You gave 4.
3.5. I gave out Hornets plus the points and then the money line. So there's your half. The over in the Denver and the under in Milwaukee.
Awesome.
And then the half becomes a full when it cashes.
Correct.
We always know how the way that rolls.
Well, it's kind of the same play, but it's a little bit different. So I kind of call it 3.5 for right now.
We love to rag on the gambling Twitter guys here, so and ladies. So never worry about that. If we always see the sketchy accounting that comes into it sometimes, but we appreciate you tapping in with us. We know you're gonna be live shortly this afternoon as well, so make sure you tap in with what Tim's producing today and daily as well.
Appreciate it.
Bro, you really can't hear this car alarm going off?
Nah.
Dude, this mic's worth it. That shit's been going off for like 25 minutes right now. My one old neighbor's losing his mind out there. So glad we can't hear that. Let's bring in our next analyst coming in live. We got Jonesy tapping in with us. How we feeling?
What's good? How y'all doing?
I'm splendid.
Can't complain.
No, because nobody would listen anyway. So
Yeah, exactly. Do no good. He'll do no good. But for me, I have 3 plays. First play, I am on Anthony Edwards, over 21.5 points. I got that last night at minus 105 on DraftKings. If you look at him in bounce back games, he's just elite. I mean, you look at the first game of the season, he dropped 11, came back, dropped 30. You look at last season, there was a game he dropped, 8 points, came back the next game, dropped 36. Even when he's like scoring less than 20, the next game he usually comes back and has a really good game. He dropped 18 last season, came back, dropped 49, dropped 18 again, dropped 33 the next game, dropped 12, came back, dropped 24 the next game. So just in bounce back spots, I look to take Anthony Edwards. Absolutely love it. It's a team that you gets to see twice in a row in the Spurs here. You got Vassell out as well. So I think it's, Cat was getting on him too a little bit. So I think it's going to be a real big game for him tonight. I remember Sosa saying it's his time. It's his team. So, you know what I mean? It's
damn right.
I see him going upwards of 25 to 30 points tonight for sure. So I love that. Next play is I'm taking Nikola Vucevic over 13.5 rebounds and assists. You look at his line against the Pacers, he just absolutely kills them. And the Pacers, they really have no big. I know Turner's is questionable, but he's barbecue chicken either way, bro. Like I just don't see how he's not. You look at Vucevic's box score against them, he's covered this number in 1, 2, 3, 4. Dude, like 12 out of the last 13 games, he's covered this number against the Pacers. So he just absolutely kills them. The Pacers right now, they're 4th in points allowed and they're the 3rd worst team against the center. So I'm expecting him to have a big game. Just he kills the Pacers. So I like that look. He's also covered this number in 3 out of 5 starts this season, or 4 out of 3 out of 4, one of the two. I'd have to go back and double look, but I know it's one of those two. The next play, I'm taking DeJounte Murray, 6 rebounds, and I'm big on Vooch today. I'm taking that and parlaying that with it's a collab with Taze. We're taking Vooch for 15 points. He's also covered that number in 12 out of the last 13 starts versus the Pacers, 15 out of the last 17 versus the Pacers. So he just kills them. For DeJounte, it's a bad spot for the Pistons. They're a young team. He's one of the best rebounding guards in the league, if not the best rebounding guard in the league. You look at the Pistons, they're 3rd in rebounds allowed, 3rd in defensive rebounds allowed, and 9th in offensive rebounds allowed. And they're the 2nd worst team versus the point guard. So I know coming off a loss for them, it's going to be a big game for them. I know the Hawks usually don't play well in Detroit, but it's a different team. I'm expecting them to bounce back today. So expecting a big game from DeJounte and expecting a big game from Nikola. And then, like I said, also expecting a big game from Ant. So, I mean, those would be my 3 plays here. I think we're getting really good value on all 3. All are very, very obtainable, which is the name of the game. So as long as everything goes right, it should be a cash.
Absolutely. That Anthony Edwards play is actually my favorite play of the night. I'm on him up to 25. I think, and the only reason I'm not doing the 30 is because I think they might just beat the shit out of them. I think San Antonio lays down tonight and gets smoked. That's just my anticipation. Like you said, no Vassell. He's been their best, high volume shooter outside of Keldon Johnson, who's obviously paid, which would make sense why he's taking all the shots too. But just I'm really, like you said, it's a great situation for them as far as being home. They play better at home, especially off rest. I'm also rocking with Jalen Green tonight. I think Jalen Green goes off, has a good game against the Jazz. Obviously, it's like the same situation back to back, like the San Antonio Spurs and Minnesota, two teams that have it's home and home off a day of rest. I also probably am going to be taking the Rockets, but I haven't gotten to placing the ticket yet. But I'm
Now
gonna.
let me ask you about this. That whole thing with them in the media with Green and Jabari. I mean, do you think they squashed that? It's moved
They're
on.
kids. They're kids, man. They're kids. You can sit them down. They can have a conversation. And I mean, obviously, they both were drafted second.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have the same sort of mentality. And this part of JP actually said something really true. This is what happens when you draft so high every year, right? Like back to back to back years. It's everyone thinks they're the man
Mm-hmm.
because the draft said I drafted second. I'm the guy. But Jalen Green, obviously, he's shown a level of development for me from on both sides of the floor. And whatever little misunderstanding that happens, man, it's just like Draymond smacking the shit out of Jordan Poole. It's like
Smacking. I don't know.
I mean,
He ain't smacking.
you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
he ain't
it's just
smacking.
one of them. Like Jordan Poole's not a very big individual. So I mean, but just generally speaking, like that sort of stuff happens, man. Like. I don't think that's anything major. I think they understand, the goal at the end of the day is to form some level of cohesion throughout the season, win some games. And for anybody that thinks that it's teams that you think are going to tank aren't going to, like, yeah, I mean, it's the beginning of the year. Everybody goes out there and plays hard, right? And someone said something yesterday that was pretty interesting. They said earlier today, they said that I made the notion that the game last night between New Orleans and Dallas, nobody will care about that in 2 months at all.
No.
And they're like, well, you need every win that you can get, and I agree to some extent. Like there are going to be, I don't know, maybe 5 teams out west that may just begin to tank if their season's not going right at the All-Star break. 1 or 2 of whom like people think might make the playoffs. So like or like being like a fighting situation for like one of those last spots. Like, would you rather compete for a play-in spot, or would you rather your team just be really bad in a draft that has maybe 5 or 6 guys that can completely turn around your franchise?
Exactly.
Like that's so again, that's the reason why a lot of these games to me don't matter as much as they would of like years past, where it's like some of these teams really will be trying to lose games at the end of the year. What was it, the DeJounte play that you had?
My DeJounte play, it was him for 6 rebounds, and I was parlayed with Vooch 15 points.
Okay, there you have it.
And then I have really the numbers on Murray. I mean, it was like he's covered this in 16 out of the last 20. He's averaging 8.1 rebounds in the last 20. He hit it in 85% of his games last season. 80% of road games. And like I said, the Pistons just with them allowing rebounds and him being one of like the best rebound guards in the league, I expect him to move fast. The Pistons move fast. The Hawks are gonna move fast. So it's gonna be a lot of shooting, bro, and it's gonna be a lot of time for him to run and gun offense, bro. Like that's how I see it. And they have plenty of time to do it. He's been playing a lot of minutes.
I have another play that I want to put out there today. It is Jeremy Grant for over 15.5 points. To minus 112 right now. I got it at minus 115, so the price is actually better now. I think he is a perfect fit for what they're doing there. I think Chauncey Billups understands the lineup. He understands how to interchange players based on situations, and they've gotten different personnel in there that actually know how to execute what he wants done on the court. And Damian Lillard's back.
Yeah.
When you have a superstar level player return to the lineup, it's going to change your fortunes. We would hope so, as long as he's healthy. So I think that's the biggest takeaway thus far with this team. They're going to give up some points. They're also going to score a ton. Anthony Simons, his development continues.
I was just about to say that. I was like, I didn't get to the window on it, but bro, Simons, he's about to go stupid. Like 18.5 is just too low. The Heat get cooked by shooting guards, bro.
Especially off rest. Like if this was like a back-to-back or travel, I think that Miami Portland game goes over too. I lean heavily towards the over 220. I think we see a lot of. I think we definitely see a lot of offense on from both teams. I see you see an accelerated pace, a lot of threes thrown up from both sides. Um, Miami has resulted obviously to playing a lot of zone because they're obviously they lack on the wings defensively.
Yeah.
They're also injured to some extent, but I still do believe it's a free flowing offensive game. I don't believe that Portland is some defensive team that's really super legit. And I have one last play, and that's in the Hawks game. I'm laying I laid 7 with them. It's up to 8 now.
Back
But
to back fade.
I love this. I love this situation. Detroit young team on a back to back. I do think I do think that this is a good test for any young team, right? You played last night. You look terrible. Cade Cunningham looked terrible. He looks like he is one step slow. First, he just doesn't look explosive, and maybe it's just in my head, and maybe I'm just thinking that.
Ivy's making him look slow. That's what it is. Ivy's so fucking.
I don't know what it is, man, but it's like he just doesn't look like super explosive. I mean, not that we ever looked at him as like some above the rim athlete.
Mm-hmm.
He just hasn't like caught my eye in any extent. He also not shooting threes. He's trying to do a lot of weird shit offensively. I don't know what he's doing. And then when he's not making shots, he starts to overpass the ball, which is another issue. It's like you stay aggressive, and then if you throw up a couple bricks, so for Cade, I don't want to say the jury's out, but Jalen Green is looking really good.
He's playing like he's been there for 18 years. Cade, I swear he's playing like he's, you know what I mean?
Jalen out here looks like he looks like it's caught up to him fast. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the first 50 games last year. I mean, Rex can attest this. I was very hard on Jalen Green. I thought that he wasn't doing anything. It looked like the speed of the NBA game. He had not caught up to it. After about 50 games in, you see things kind of slow down for him, and him being able to get his offense and get into some flow with KPJ as the point guard towards the end of the year. And it's carried over to this year. He's also made a great improvement on the defensive end. Jalen Green defensively has been really good. It's something that you're not going to notice in the box score, right? If he doesn't get like 6 steals in the game, 4 or 5 steals, or but defensively, he's been able to hold his own very well against high level guards. I like his development on that side of the ball, and obviously dead eye shooter. And now it's about mixing in the in between game and utilizing his explosiveness at the rim, which is something we don't really see him do unless it's a fast break dunk.
Well, I was gonna say, I think he knows he can get to the rim at will. You know what I mean? Like that's no problem for him. It's that's why he's shooting. You know what I mean?
Getting there is one thing, finishing is another.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
some of these put everybody on a highlight reel though. That's his thing. He's trying to post to everybody.
So with him, like I said, I'm very much there. But in regards to the Hawks, I think Hawks off rest. When you're a good team, this the game you're looking for. You're looking for an opponent who played last night, is young, inexperienced. You have all the experience in the world as far as the players that you have. I think I believe this is an Atlanta smash spot. That's just
I think it's a terrible spot for Detroit, bro. Like it's
so we gotta go back to the money train. What Toronto Raptors guard are we taking tonight for points over against our Sixers guards? Because every pointer shooting guard, one of them gets 20 easy on us tonight. So
tonight,
I don't know if I'm liking Van Vliet or Trent. That's what makes it tough.
I think it's an OG bounce back game. I think OG, like I bet on him 2 nights ago. If Scotty, it's all dependent. It looks like Scotty's not going to play. If Scotty's not playing, I like OG. OG's like a tweener, right? He's a 2/3/4, kind of can play all three. I like OG.
15 and a half minus 105.
Well, I got a 14 and a half minus 120. So whatever.
I'd take the 14 and a half.
I mean, the 14 and a half is definitely playable. So yeah, I like OG in this spot, especially with the bounce back. He was terrible the other night. I didn't even watch any of the game. I was at the Sixers game, and I just was like looking at the screen, like, what the fuck? Like,
what about Pascal? What do you guys think about him? You think he continues to cook?
Depends on how many fouls he picks up early trying to guard it.
That was my one concern with him today. That's why I didn't take him.
I mean, he probably will still go off though.
Yeah.
right? 'Cause he probably, I mean, if he's drawing Tobias down the other end, he might barbecue. I mean, listen, shit, if he's getting Embiid down at the other end, he might barbecue him too.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Sixers Raptors games, in my opinion, almost go by how efficient Fred is in the game because he's the one that can completely turn it around. And when he gets the pace pushing, we said it, that's how you get him beat out of the game real quick if you make him start moving too much up and down the court. And I think that's what they're going to look to tonight to really open it up. I mean, they're short home dogs, but they know the NBA players know they're making Toronto a home dog against a division opponent. I think they know.
Well, even like I don't get it because I don't know what like they're expecting, but like they keep setting James Harden at 22.5, bro. He's gonna keep surpassing that. Like he's gonna get to he's in a different bag this season. I think James Harden is gonna play elite all season long.
I hope so.
That 22.5, they just keep setting it like he's not gonna like score 22.5.
Those, those
He's
other
gonna
dudes,
get there.
those other dudes gonna have to hit some shots. That's
Yeah.
really what it boils down to.
Maxey,
Like
Maxey,
Maxey, House,
I know.
all those guys, Tobias, they're gonna have to hit perimeter jump shots. People are like, well, why is he shooting threes? Because they're fucking telling him to.
Mm-hmm.
Let that fly. Do not even step in the paint.
One of the other
line.
storylines I got from tonight, I don't know if it was a fake meme or whatever, but Rudy Gobert likened the tweet that the Jazz T-Wolves trade was the worst one to go down in history. And especially because everyone's probably looking for the cat props tonight, especially what he's giving out there. His board's sitting at 14.5. I mean, I know that's exactly where he's averaging this season. It still seems way too low because Cat, we've said it, he ain't shown any effort to the boards. No one else on the Timberwolves other than Vanderbilt's crashing.
Well, when they set his line, Cat at the beginning of the season at 10.5, I said that's an under spot, bro. He's not getting 11 rebounds with Rudy there.
Not a chance.
No way, bro. No way. I think he finished with like 6 first game or something like that. Could be a little bit more, but I just know like anything 10.5 with Cat. If Rudy's in the lineup, I'll take the under on that. Not saying he can't get it, but it's just too high.
For sure.
Yep. So then I was about to say the only 2 games that we kind of neglected tonight was the Magic versus the Cavs. Kind of self-explanatory there. And then the other one was the Bulls versus the Pacers.
Yeah, I got
No sides, no totals there. Player props sprinkled throughout those, but nothing.
Booch. Take Booch.
We'll probably not even. I will probably not even accidentally like switch to that channel. Going through the League Pass games, I'm going to try to avoid that one at any cost. Whew, not good.
Other than that, we appreciate Jonesy Trends joining us as he usually does throughout the week on Calling the Shots Live Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Make sure you're followed and tapped in with him for all the content you're producing. We're live on Twitter. If you want to be featured in the next show, hit the link up at the title. Jump over to the YouTube page. Like, follow, retweet, sub. Daily Bread tomorrow for Thursday Night Football. Friday, Calling the Shots. Saturday, Paid for Play. Sunday morning quarterbacks. We out.
Carl Anthony Towns.